Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm going to review Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Well, actually, it's written as Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, but I'm going to say the way it's pronounced. Now, this is the 45th Super Sentai series, and it aired in Japan back in 2021, and, um, and consists of 45 episodes. Now, this is an anniversary series, so there will be elements from previous Super Sentai series. Now, the first episode starts when the narrator was talking about how there are many different worlds, and each of these worlds have their own Super Sentai. And then suddenly, all these worlds were captured by an evil group called the Tujitendo Dynasty. Um, Sometime later, this guy named uh, Kushida Kaido, he will he was trying to attempt to I think it was bungee jump from the Tokyo Skytree, but he was prevented by the police officers there, or maybe it was security guards. But anyway, soon after, these robotic people started to arrive, and everybody wondered what's going on. Now, these robotic people are called Giganoidos, and they come from a world called Gikaitopia. Uh, some time passed after that, and the humans and Giganoidos are now living together in peace, as civilians. And then suddenly, the Utentos started to attack, and everybody was panicking, and well, a lot of people were wondering why the Giganoidos are being crazy, but not all of them were, just the Utendo. And then, oh yeah, forgot to mention that Kaido, he lives with his grandmother, Yasuse, but Kaido calls her Yu-chan, since, that's a way a person refers, how people refer to their grandmothers in Japan. And also, yeah, and she runs this candy store called something Gurfuru, but yeah, say color for candy store just for short. And also in the store there is this mechanical bird called Seishan, and then suddenly, well, was introduced kind of like a toy, but then suddenly Seishan started to act all alive, and underneath the store was some kind of laboratory, and Seishan told Kaido that this was a laboratory that his parents worked in. You see, Kaido's parents, yeah, Isao, and that's his father, and Mizuko, his mother. Well, there were scientists who were looking for ways to get to other parallel worlds, but somehow they mysteriously disappeared. Back when Kaido was still a child. So he was raised by his grandmother ever since then. Now, Seishan, well, he introduced Kaido to this kind of like grappling gun called the Gyudoringa, and he can use it to fight the Tujendo. So, well, and his first battle against them, he first used this turn the thing on, and then he became a new Super Sentai hero called Zenkaija. And his Zenkaija form is a white costume that has something like the colors red, blue, yellow, and a green. Look bits of it. And his helmet is white with some kind of like a visor shaped like blue eyes. Oh, and he has a red cape as well. And also his costume has like his helmet has an antenna, which kind of makes him look like a Kamen Rider, but his costume also resembles Big One from Jakate Nikitai. And so he fought them, and he fought the Jendo and they retreated, but they would come back later on. And then Kaido told his grandma, Yasude, about what happened and offered to have her join him in the fight. And Yasuda, he didn't want to. So Kaido went up and to recruit for anybody who's willing to join the team. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there are five Kidaringas that Kaido's parents made. Now, Kaido eventually found a red Kikanoito. His name is Yuran, and he saw Yuran, protect a child, and then asked if he would join in the fight, and Yuran agreed to it, and then he henshin and he got a new form, and his Zenkaija form is Zenkaijura, and he kind of looks like type a old red version of his henshin form makes him look like an old red version of the Yusen from Kyoryusen no Eurasia or the original Megazord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it has the head of a Tyrannosaurus on his chest. And then also, after the first monster were defeated, well, um, a giant robot came and stepped on the gear because, every time these well, uh, in this series, the monsters are called worldos because they are made up of a captured world that's trapped inside a Tuji gear. And when the giant monster called the Kudak, no, Kutai or something like that, steps on it, takes on the form and traits of that worldo, but gigantic size. And then, well, um, urine use come by flipping the gear inside the gun, and he became gigantic. It became it was in the form of a mechanical T-Rex called Duran Tirado. And Kaido wanted to get up in the action too, and he also flipped his Sendai gear and his Kizaringa. And he did become gigantic, but instead it it caused him to go inside the no no anyway Duran uh, defeated Giant Worldo, and then he and they won the first battle as a team. Oh, as for the villains, the leader of the Tujutendo is called Oguwasu, and he's like this gigantic robotic wall who he likes to move, he want to move his arms, and his subordinates are this golden robotic general called Barishidara, and robot, this other robot on wheels called Iyurut. And whenever his well, during the series, whenever a Rodo is defeated, he would pound his head really hard, causing his supporters to jump up and down. It's really funny. Oh, and also Fukuwasu has a mechanical pearl called Gege, and unlike his out of all the subjects he had, he has more favoritism to the bird or crow, and he's the only one who can calm Bakuwato down when the situation calls for it. And the foot soldiers of this series are called Kudaks, and they're like these robotic warriors that do what they're told without thinking for themselves. Now, in the next episode, well, we meet the yellow Kikanoid called Kawon, and then yeah, he's yellow and has features like a cat, and he has multiple cables on the back of his head, make it look he has dreadlocks, some kind of vest, and a tail, and he uh, he loves both humans and animals, but he doesn't have the same feelings towards Kikanoidos, even though he's a Kikanoido himself. Yes, and well, anyway, well, oh yes, in the same episode, Kaito and Durano were going around recruiting other people, but other people turned them down, and then they found Gawon and asked if he'd like to join the team, and no, he declined the offer because he was more interested in being friends with humans and animals, and uh, Kaido said it was alright and that he could be friends with them, that he be his friend as well, and that made Gawon very happy. And then suddenly, the world was attacked by mushroom roto, which caused mushrooms to appear everywhere, especially on people's heads. And then eventually in the episode, Gawon decided to join a team because he wants to protect all the people and animals of the world. So Kaido gave him a Kidoringa and he used to do henshin and became Zenkai Kawon. And he has, you could say, anyway, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that for Senka Yuran, his henshin form has the number 16 on the top of his head, and because he used the Senna gear that represents Giru Senno Jureisha, which was added into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, for Second Kawo, his uh, Senkai form is looks like an old yellow version of Kawu King from Hayaku Sendai Gold Ranger or Wild Force Megazord from Power Rangers Wild Force, and has the number 25 on top of his head, representing that super that Sentai series number. And so the Zenkaija so far, three of them defeated the world though, but again, Gudaitis has stepped on the gear and they became into kind of version of the world though. And then, well, they became both Juran and Gawa became gigantic. And as for Gawon, his gigantic form is like a mechanical lion. Oh, I forgot to mention that his regular size form as a Geyser is a yeah, it also has the head of a lion in his chest. Now, back to the gigantic form. Yes, he became, and Kaido wanted to become big as well. However, they told him that his gear doesn't make him gigantic, but instead it causes Guran and Gawon and the giant mega form to combine or Katai into Sengaio Gawuran. And then Kaido got inside the cockpit of it and they defeated the world and that was the end of victory. The next episode we meet this pink female Kikanaido called Machine. And well, she was mostly shy, but anyway, and, the guy just met her, and then after he invited her to the candy store. Oh, and also they turns out that she was Euron's neighbor back in Kikatopia. And well, Euron told said about how well revealed turned out that when Machine was a child, she was very shy, but eventually she decided to seek fortune and well during the rest of the series she tried to help by using this crystal ball and she would do this machine and all to but usually it doesn't always work well. And then freezing world okay an attack and then eventually Machine decided to join the team. It became a new form. She was given a Ringer and it became Magic Pinku. I mean Sengai Majin with a Mafu power. And she looks like the if Magic King from Mahu Sentai Machirenja or Titan Megazord from Power Ranger Mystic Force had a pink daughter. And on her forehead is a number 29, representing the 29th Super Sentai series. And then in the next episode, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I forgot another member of the Jitendo called Room, but he was mostly a janitor, and well, the Jitendo didn't really appreciate him that much. Yes, just passed him around and stuff. And there was an episode where he found a world being liberated, and when he told Ihura dad, well, he went to look things, and then eventually it was him. There was an order to get him, and room that to get away from the Presidento. Also, in that same episode, well, it's the episode after machines becoming a Zenkaija, and well, what happened was that people were being fed up by boxing world which got everybody to start boxing each other. And then eventually, Room arrived and well, yeah, trying to get away from the Jitendo. And well, when he met, he was well, definitely was full of curiosity and he liked to learn. And then later on, he decided to join the team and become. Yeah, he learned it, so he could continue learning about the world he's now in. Was given a Killer Ringer and became Sengai Room, with Coco power. And his Zenkaiger form is looks like. Oh, I forgot to mention in the previous episode, Machine also has a giant mega form, and her instead of a giant pink dragon, and can combine with she was able to combine with oh yes, Duran to become Senkayo Yuran Majin or something like that. Now back to Ru. Well, yes. Well, his Zenkaiger form is like an all blue version of Raipoken from Goku Sentai Genja or the Drymax Megazord from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Another defeated Boxing Gordo. Well, again we get a kind of version of him, and then oh yeah, Ru became gigantic and became a giant dump truck called Ru Dump, and he could combine with a machine, and they become Sengayo, oh yeah, machine of Ru machine, something like that. And also, kind of can also set a couple of that formation as well. And we now have the five Zenkaijas. Now, I don't know, I don't know which episode was, but there was an episode where we meet where Kaido meet this guy, uh, and the guy said his name is Stacy, but he won't say anything else, you know. And of course, he recalls and Kaido and the rest had to do their things, and then at the end of the episode, well, it was revealed that Stacy is the son of Parisha Dara, and well, that's where that episode ends. Now, before we well, there's a special that takes place after that episode and the before the episode after, and I think we read that already, but well, it starts with I think Kaiser fighting the enemy, if you were cheering, and then suddenly, and then Boku was to send another world called the Super Werewolf Worldo, and he's based on past Super Sentai villains, and of course, well, he had trouble first fighting them, but then they were given help, and eventually all the Red Rangers from past Super Sentai series have appeared. Oh yeah, forgot, yeah, and this movie, yeah, the past Super villains from past Super Sentai series also appeared. Not all of them, but a lot. And then when the Red Rangers from the previous Super Sentai series arrived, they all helped out and well destroyed Super Worldo, and he oh yes, and well all the villains were grateful because now they could go back to their own universes where they can cause trouble there. Now, and also, Akarinja was surprised that Kaido was in that the leader wasn't a Red Ranger but a White one instead. Now, and another special that takes place after that, but before the next episode of the regular series, well, it's a two-parter, and well, what happened is that Kaido was remembering when Algar Ranger was confused that Kaido was in red, and but later something happened, and well, they were being attacked by another world called reg- uh, regular Waramundo world, who was based on the Super Sentai village that never became gigantic size. Uh, yeah, and during the fight, well, a new hero came, and well, he refers to himself as Zenkai Riddle, and claimed that he was the original Zenkaiger, and well, the guy that should not have been the leader because only I think only the leader of the Super Sentai team needs to be red. Also, some crazy things happen. Like, oh yes, during that time, well, oh no, before that, Senkai Redo came to the candy shop and talked to the other Senkaigers and wanted them to join him, but no, they were reluctant about it. And then suddenly, Gawon became human. And then they went and they tried to investigate, all the things going on. And by the end of that part of the special, Machine became human too. And then next part two of that special, well, started with revealing that Machine lost her, Machine she lost her ability to teleportations and you know oh yes she started well she was upset about it and then later on Ru became human instead of Yuran and well tried to want to talk to Senkai Redo but well Senkai Redo told him that he was being a fool for what he's trying to do because he was not meant to fight with Shidendo and then later on he came and got looking with the team and turns out that his friends could not abandon him and that they would join the team and also a second Riddler was trying to figure out why his power didn't work. And then well I think I finally got through to Senkai Redo and decided to join forces and fight enemies and well the other Senkai became Kanoidus again and were able to henshin into the Zenkaiger forms. And then they defeated uh, regular World Wonder, but eventually he became Gigantic too, even though he was based on bad villains and never became Gigantic. Eventually, the heroes became Gigantic and then defeated the enemy. And then Kaido, he was being contacted by the leaders of the previous Super Sentai teams, and one of them was uh, the White Ranger from oh yes Ninja Sentai Ranger, and she was yeah who which was adapted into the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as well as Mighty Morphin Elliot Rangers, and she told Kaido that the, well it doesn't matter what a person's appearance, gender, or form is as long as they have the heart. And she wasn't the only White Ranger leader in that group with the other ones, but as well with the big one from Takata Chiquita and the leader of Pure Ranger, who was can be red and white, depending on what forms he was using. So it's kind of like also the leader of a Super 1019 that had to be red. It could be any color. And then Kaido wakes up and reveals it was all a dream. Now back to the regular series. Well, yes, Seishi is the son of Rishidara. You see, his mother was human, but his father was Kikanoido. And what? And well, Seishi he's trying to during a majority of the series he's been trying to prove himself. And then later on, well, Seishi wanted to do fight the Zenkaijas, and he used a gun. He had his own well, a dark form of a Kiraringa called Kiraringa, and he used it to become a villain known as Sage Caesar. And his form is mostly like a a purple version of a Super Sentai hero. And not only that, he also fights them, but also he can use his Kirajinga to uh, call out copies of past Super Sentai teams. And the Zenkaija fight them, and not only that, but later in that episode, he uses Kirajinga to call on the best Mega or Mega Swords from previous Super Sentai teams, mostly the ones that the Zenkaija power, that the main Zenkaigers are based on, like the original Megazord, or Daiyushin, Tower King, or Walrus Megazord, the Magic King, or Titan Megazord, and Typhoon or Climax Megazord. And well, the Zenkaigers use their they became gigantic with Kaido being the culprits of one of them. Of course, eventually they were easily defeated, but and also they were back in their regular forms, the regular Zenkaiger forms. So not only are they gigantic and their non-humanoid forms, but they can be also gigantic in their humanoid forms as well. And then going back to regular size battle, it then gave me somebody that was a surprise, and well, it was this guy, and well, when he first appeared, well, I think it's a little later, but his name is Soksu called Twiga, and well, he claims to be a pirate or kaisuku. Now, and then next episode of that one, oh yes, well, it started with well, he he had this thing like Kira Ringo or something like some kind of wheel thing, and when he was, and then some music was playing, and then he started dancing, and then after it became like he had his own Zenkaija form called Zukaita, and he has Kaisuko power, and it's more like a gold. He has a gold costume with a gold helmet, and has a number 35 on the top of his helmet, representing the 35th Super Sentai series, Kaisaku Sentai Kogaisha, which was adapted into Power Rangers Super Mega Force. And yes, and he fought it. Oh, and also, well, I'll think later, but anyway, later on, we meet this woman, and she turns out to be, the Zinkaigers and Satsu arrive at the candy store, and there they, yeah, met this woman, and her name is Flindo. Flindo, yeah, and she, well, she said, well, she is the younger sister of Satsu, or is Imoto, and there are these robotic, these two ST robots called Ricky and Katana, and well, they claim to be Success and Splendo's younger brothers or Ototos. Also, Splendo, she refers to Satsu as Aniki, which is one of the ways how a person would refer to their older brother in Japan. And this is Ricky and Cutters call such the same thing. And they refer to, and also Ricky and Cuttner refer to Splendo as Aniki, which is one of the ways how a person will refer to their older sister in Japan. And then he went and well, and that family left the store without paying. Now, and then Kaito went trying to convince him not to mess with the world, at least with his home world. And um, well, anyway, the Kotrika family, at least the Parry family, they went into back into the giant ship called the Crocodile, which is this giant ship that's shaped like a crocodile that is gold on one side and silver on the other. And well, Kaido managed to go and talk to them, and well, there was some kind of argument, and then Lindo she burst out and claimed that they were trying to get their brothers back to the little brothers back to normal. You see, when they were at SD World, they Estitopia, they Oriki and Karanor were put under a curse that caused them to be in their SD forms. So yes, and they try to find the SD cure so they can free it and find a way to reverse the curse. Now, also later we find out that the crocodile can also form and become a gigantic humanoid robot called oh yeah, Sukayo, and it has two modes, depending on if it's being combined with Ricky or Kadana. Oh, and also forgot to mention that earlier, when they were at the candy store, well, they were asked if not, it was Station who asked if they were related to the Zenkaija, and Pluto said that she copied the design. In other words, she pirated the design. Also, and for the most of the series, the majority of the series, Sugaisa and the Zenkaijers, would fight along side by side, but each side had their own different goals. So, but and also during this, the series, well, whenever oh yes, whenever Satsu would appear, he would sing this song, and well, I tried to do my best, the best I could, like this. Yo ho hoi, yo ho hoi, yo ho hoi, yo. I am a Kaizuku, suffer from umi to me, na 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 na. Something like that. He does, and he always does this dance whenever he henches into to Kaisa. Let's see. Then the okay, some well, I don't know. Okay, some after some episode later, or at least well, let's get the superhero Senki with and well, this is a movie that, oh no, no, before that, well, Super Sentai and oh no, 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 Zenkaija and Kamen Rider Seba had a crossover with each other, and well, the first part of the crossover was like a special episode of Seba, and where the Kamen Riders of that series were Dynamite, and then Satsu came and well, he stole a book which is a treasure, at their headquarters. Oh, and this was during the festival called the Japanese festival known as Tanabara or something like that. Supposed to be like the Festival of the Stars. And one of the some in that series had a kind of magic pen that makes anything he writes come true. And then later in that episode, well, the common writers of Seba they appeared and well yeah they well defeated a monster in that series and well such a return what he stole. However, he stole something else instead. And well two people from that show follow him, and then we get to episode 20, which is part two of that crossover, which was was an episode of Zenkaija, and well in that episode, a lot of women or young girls were being adopted, kidnapped, and this was just like in C, but it was also during the festival of Danabada, and they well once they trying to figure it out what all these women had in common, well so that they all had ponytails, and you see the reason that they were captured was because well there's a Rodo wanted to reenact the story of Tanabata, which was, about this god and goddess who fell in love with each other, but it caused them to neglect their duties, which caused them to be separated, and then they were told to they can only meet once a year, and well, that's how the festival of Tanabata started. And eventually, to I guess as a guide and the Kamen Rider guest stars from Seba defeated the enemy, and well, the Seba heroes returned back to their own world, which led to this special movie called Superhero Senki, which was it's a movie crossover with both Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. And well, let's see. What happened was that in that some villain escaped, and he wanted to capture all the books featuring stories of both Super Sentai and Kamen Riders. And then because such things would happen. Oh, and also in the movie there was a young boy named Shotaro, and well, right during the movie they were they started to meet with each other, and well, the heroes they're meeting, and well, were transported into different stories. And one of the stories was called Journey to the West, and then eventually they went to a story called The Eight Dogs. And this is the first time I heard about these stories, from watching that movie. And I think I might be interested in reading those someday. But anyway, yes, and not just Shinkachi and Saber, but also some people from past Super Sentai series and past Kamen Rider series. And they were all well, they had to play the story out. And then once they did what they had to do, they started to fight the monster. And well, around that time, Shotaro he was throwing the heroes, but he was persuaded by one of the enemy that they weren't good enough. Well, he's convinced that they weren't good enough. He was throwing the heroes, what's going on. And then one of the heroes from Seba, or at least one of the characters from Seba, well, he was in this world, and then he found this book called The Biography of Inoshimori Shotaro. So yes, the young boy who was drawing pictures of the heroes was actually a time display Shitaro Onishimori, the creator of both Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. And there was a scene where his older sister convinced him to continue his art. And so eventually he decided to continue on. And then all the heroes took him back from the disappearance and started to fight. And then came other Ranger from he was in a Go Ranger and the original Kamen Rider Hanko yeah, Hanko Takeshi. And when he when yeah, and they all decided to fight. And then once the fight was over, Takeshi he went back to his regular civilian form, and he was played by the same actor who played him. Going back to 1971. He's an old man now. And as for the other heroes from Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, well, he was surprised to find out that these have they were made after his some of them were made many of them were made after his death, but he's fine with it now that he knows that what he created will continue on even after his death. And when I first saw this, it made me think of what would be like if there was like a special or movie where they have a John Himes Bond, like pitching an idea for a TV series. But that's probably never going to happen. No, back to the Zenkaija series. The yeah, well, oh yes, later on we oh yeah, Flendo made some kind of device called Sengaiju gear, and when Flendo gave it to Kaido, he became he was given a new form called Super Zenkaija, a Super Zenkaija, and if, his armor is based on the Yusen from Kiryusen the Eurasia or the Dragon Sword from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like the round circle and even the drill spear. The it's also the tail. And in the next episode, revealed that Structure has his own Sekai Gear as well. And that Flendo made for both of them. And with Sekai Gear, um, Sugaija becomes Super Sugaija, and his armor is based on the V-Rex from Mirai Time Ranger or the Quantum Saurus Rex from Power Rangers Time Force. And then we can reveal that the Zenkaiju gear can also make the two heroes into mega forms. And well, Zenkaija, Super Zenkaija became gigantic, and he can combine with the other Zenkaijas. Well, at least with Uran and Room, because of the size. And also, Sugaisa became well like an SD version of himself. Of course, Sugaisa was. I wonder why he was small, and Flendo said it was a design flaw. But he combined with Super Sengaija and become super. It's going to do something like whatever it was. They could combine together and they could defeat the world or giant. Yeah. But anyway, then let's see. Oh yes, sometime later, see, it was revealed oh yeah, the Dogento finally got a new a warrior called Hagaiza, and his job is to protect the protect the world from being destroyed. And they had a hard, at first was hard, but the movie gets in the way. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, and during that time, well, I think was Zenkaija, he was given a new weapon called Zenkai Cannon, which was used to it can be used to to send out copies of bad super sentences. And the next episode after the Zenkaija finally got control of that weapon because it was the weapon that was made by another weapon that was made by Kaido's parents. Oh, I forgot to mention that during was it the series? When Stacy met Yasute, well, she reminded him a lot of his mother, and all had a lot of questions, re, um, regarding both. And then, and there was a scene, a part where episode where they showing that Stacy finally found Kaido's mother, and he disappeared. And we know now. The yes, this guy finally got the Senkai cannon, and they used that for the rest of the series. Oh, and also there's an episode that mentioned that you see Stacey and Kaido had this body switch, and then Kaido and Stacey's body reveals that he can go through the border that sends to the palace, the Udeno Palace. He saw everything on there, managed to free the prisoners, and he even met Gege. But eventually, he went back to Earth, and then started to fight the world, though. And of course, both Stacey and Kaido got their body got their bodies back. Now, back to Hagaiza. Well, oh no, before that, there was an episode where they learned about that Kaido's mom is in one of the worlds, and they decided to look for her and to different worlds. And the first world they went to was Mochi Worldo, no, Mochitopia. And but when they were, everybody in that universe was attacking them because according to that world or that universe, it's inappropriate to not have the top of your head covered. And you're commented that different worlds have different standards. And then went to weather world, and of course they were attacked. But when they got to the freezing world, it was a freeztopia. No problems, even a faketopia. And then they came up with an idea, and the monsters, but the enemy found Mitsuko, Kaido's mother, and the they fought the enemy, and then went back to the regular world, and then decided to revealed that the woman they were with wasn't really Kaido's mother, but it was machine and in disguise. And now that the enemy thinks that Mitsuko is with them now, they will be able to start with any of the other worlds or other universes. Now, back to Hagaiza. Well, I think it was in Halloween episode, and you see, some of the episodes, it was revealed that his weak, well, he needs to be, charged up constantly. And then when he wasn't able to charge up before it was too late, it reveals that it was Sakai was actually Aisawa, Kaido's father. In the next episode, the well, Kaido tried very hard to tell him the truth, but it was so difficult. But eventually, they told him and trying to help in any ways to get Isayo back. And then the episode afterwards, well, when they did, well, Kaido said that he, he do whatever it takes to, I mean, he'll try to do what he can to get Isayo back, but if it was fails, then, well, he had nothing to do but to do whatever it takes to save, to protect people. And then during that battle, well, the Zenkaijas, except for Kaido, well, they were trying to get Isayo his memories back, and from everything that happened about Isayo's past, and then they succeeded, and Isayo came back to normal, and then Isayo he went to the candy store and just knew that was fact that she got her son back. And then in the next episode, well, another worlder called Noodle Worldo, who was he caused a spell of people kind to argue over Ludon and some kind of noodles. I forgot the. And of course, when got an idea, and then he let his father in on it, and then went and told that he prefers ramen, and then well, the Zenkai just came and revealed that got the plan. He covered the world in sauce and told him that told his friends that the world prefers pasta, and he tried to get everybody who likes the two types of noodles to go against each other to make a pasta world. And then they fought each other, and then no, I mean they fought the world though, and then destroyed, but another beginning again the version, and then they fought him. Oh, I forgot superhero Senki. Forgot to mention. Yes, we remember something. Back in superhero Senki, well, during that battle, they were introduced to Kamen Rider Revice, since it was gonna be. Well, anyway, back to what I was talking about. Well, they defeated him in the Gary version, and well, Gaido's father was when he in search to search for his wife Mitsuko, and but before he left, he gave Kaido a new standing gear, which has the number 26. And then the next episode was fighting an enemy, a Worldo. The well, Kaido used that gear, and it was a Red Ranger from Dawn Brothers. I haven't seen that series yet, but I've seen images of the team, and he helped out. And then getting closer to the end of the series, well, Keke started to, Keke has started to possess Stacey, and he was doing some stuff. And then later on, when he made like a stage, oh yeah, I forgot that during the series, well, whenever he was at a candy shop, well, use Yasuda will call him Satoshi because well, that's the name he told her to call him. Or that's why he told him his name was, So to make sure that he is just kept secret from her. And then well, once Kaito realized that wasn't it's only Stage was talking, and then well, the person who was taking control of Stacy's body was actually, well, he said that he created all those worlds, all those universes, and that he's some kind of a god or kami. And well, it took some convincing for interview to say that he is who he says he was, and he predicted what worlds would come. You see, he didn't just possess Stacy, but he also took on possess Kege, and see, yes, well, they realized that he his power, and then that don't want to possess Stacy any longer, and they offer to let him to they offer to let Stacy possess the bodies of the Zenkaijas. So the kami agreed, and Stacy was no longer being controlled by him. Also, one of the gears he helped release was the SD gear, which resulted in SD Roto, which caused people to turn into SD robots, just like Kadenariki. And then, oh yes, that the guy just defeated him, and now, and when it became gigantic, the well, the Zenkaija did what you should do, with the gigantic and monsters, and they defeated him, and Esitopia was finally free, and the whole Tweaker family can finally go to Esitopia so they can, reverse the curse. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, and also, while they were on the way, use the company uses this gear to release Kaisutopia. That's the world where the Costa Rica song is from, and he insists to go home. And there was an episode where Sakashi was fighting the enemy without them, and then in the episode afterwards, well, the pirate family, the Kaizoku family, they met the oh yes, they realized that Kaisutopia has been freed, and yes, and trying to look for what's going on, and then a few a few episodes of that, Ijuru, he wanted to he made his own mecha so he can fight Zenkaija, but and then eventually they defeated, yeah, and then finally he was destroyed, and that was the end of Ijuru. And then let's see, on the episode where well, the Gold Riggers came and have a final showdown with Regidara, and Stacia was there, as Take Visa, and they decided to fight Rishara, and yes, also like got noticed that Flinda wasn't around, and turns out that he was being possessed by the kami, and then found this big. Also around the same time, let's see. Oh yes, the Sengaigers along with Seishan, they went to the got into the Jutendo Palace and met with Fukuwasu, and then well, eventually the kami started to possess. Well, no, before that, they started to fight the enemy, and Keke even helped out. No, Keke, he wanted to fight Zenkaijas, but then Kaido uses Kizaringa to make station, the candidate, the same sex as Geka, and they start to fight each other. But then the Kami, he started to protect Geka and says that he's weak in the back, that Bokuwatsu is weak in the back. And then Bokuwatsu was surprised by this betrayal, and he slammed the Geke right across the room, and he was destroyed. And then Bokuwatsu to mourn him, even though he was the one who killed the bird, and used the remaining part of the Geke, and then his whole body started to crumbling down, and he was turns out that he was a regular size form, and were and of course he started to well, he left the palace, and also he went to see. Oh yes, forgot to mention before that the Kami was specific people, but only to send the Kikonoidus back to the home worlds. Now, eventually, when things were started crumbling down, it was fall down, and then well, see, well, the Kikonoidus along, with the Zenkaija ones, well, they noticed that Kaito wasn't around. Oh yeah, and yes, and in the next episode, it was revealed that well, they showed that oh no wait, before I forgot to mention before that happened, before the battle that Zenkaija had, between with Fukawasu, Isawu finally found Mitsuko, and turned out that she was an Sushitopia after her escape from the palace. Now, back to the episode after with Fukawasu, with it was well, it started with everybody seems to be normal, like nobody like that the whole merger between Earth and Tikatopia never happened, and all the memories of the Gokunoidos were gone from the human mind, and try to Kaido he tried to well he attempted again to jump on Tokyo Skytree, but and eventually he realized that well so he feel like he done something like that. He tried to do something like that before, and eventually his memory had to come back, and he went to his family and talked about everything that happened, and then he gonna stay still, and there was the but turns out that the kami was still inside his mind, and well he they had this argument about what to do, and well they had a battle inside Kaido's mind, and then out of the battle, Kaido decided the to let the winner on the piece of rock paper scissors, and then the kami agreed, and well once it was done, well Kaido's family wondering who was the one that came, and turns out it was Kaido. So, and the, so the company decided to have free all the worlds, and let everybody have access, to transport from each ones. And also Kaido encouraged the company to create new ones, and also be a good kami to and take protect all the world's secret as well as the people in them. So he decided to agree, and well, the Kaido met up with his friends again, and then also and then they went into have one final battle with Bokuwasu, and they Henshin and then become fought Bokuwasu, and to remember what they were all about the bag, and they did it, and then Fukuwasu fell down and was destroyed. And that was the end of the Judendo Empire. So the Zenkaija finally won their battle. Now, later in that episode, some time passed, and well, now there's diplomacy being made out of the, all the worlds. And there was talk of calling, the Zenkaija world Zenkaitopia. And yeah, so everything is everything's peaceful. And oh yeah, forgot to mention that Stacey, well, he revealed before the final battle, revealed to Yasuse that he was that Satoshi is not his real name, but he stated and he's been trying to destroy Kaido for a long time. But the girl Seichan reminded him that he started to help him out, recently. And then, well, Jack suited and, disappointed. Um, he did something so foolish, but then she hugged him, showing that she forgives him, for what he did. And so now all is well. Now back to after the final battle with Fukuwasu. Yes, everything's fine, and well, Stacey he denied being the new ruler of Gatopia, and wanted to make things better and re-educate the codex and try to make them better. And well, now that Kaido has his family back, and well, he decided to go and become the first to travel all the worlds, and he also his friends, the other Sengaches, uh, also came. Oh, I forgot to mention that before that happened, well, Satsu and Widow came, and with them were these two human boys. That's how they were rigging a calendar, and the girls were lifted, and Flint Genius, he used the Killer Rinker, which caused them to turn back into SD robots. So now Ricky and Calendar can be human or SD whenever they want. Now, when Kaido was about to start his journey, well, oh no, before that, sorry, I keep forgetting things. But anyway, Kaido is oh yes, they the Gold Creeker family still collect, the pirates. However, they kind of take from those who feel like being too greedy and give to those who need it. So anyway, they gonna do like what Robin Hood did. So yes, now finally back. Yes, Kaido as well as the other Zenkaijers came around and they're all gonna travel these different worlds together. So they went, and that was the end of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. Now, what do I think of this series? Well, yeah, this series made me laugh a lot because the episodes have a lot of funny stuff in it. Yeah, yeah, it's really funny. Of course, as for whether to let the children watch it or not, well, I really don't recommend it. I mean, yes, I know it's supposed to be a kids show, but the standards in Japan has well, they are different when it comes to what they can have and cannot have on children's television. And well, some of these scenes, well, a few episodes have scenes that should not be in children's shows, or at least in any shows whatsoever. But that's and let's see, yeah, I think that's all I can say about Oh yeah, and there's some things I left out on my review, probably because according to the time, it's a real long video. But anyway, yeah, I think that's all I can say about Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger in this video. And also, please subscribe to my channel because it will help me a lot. And also, please share this video on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. So that's it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.